What's up? My name is SIKKY, and in today's video, I'm flipping Bollywood samples as a trap producer. But first, we gotta go over some super quick basics of how musicians sample. Let's chop this up into 6 different pieces. Now let's rearrange them. Now let's listen to what this sounds like. That sounds pretty good. Now that was pretty fun to make, but now I need a Bollywood sample, and I'm going to find it using today's sponsor, Tracklib. Now, finding the right sample can be its own challenge, especially when Tracklib has over 100,000 samples. I'll usually get something from this collection section. I love this way of browsing personally. This is it. But you can also find samples by genre, label, and artist, and it's really straightforward to download. I found my sample in this collection and downloaded it. And if you're ever unsure if a sample has some potential, I like using this loop and this beat feature to loop a section of a sample or to add a simple beat from this list. Now, when you finally have that Drake placement and you need to clear the sample, you can easily clear it through Tracklib. Quick little outfit change, but let me play you guys a sample that I chose to flip for this video. Asha Bhosle is one of India's most popular and well-known singers. She's done over 10,000 songs and 800 movies. The first thing I kind of want to show you guys is how I chop this sample. I already tried a couple of things when the camera was off, so I didn't waste as much time. I'm trying to make it bounce, right? Like, and there's something needs to change here. And I'm using a slip tool to bring something back. Now that note, I think it needs a little bend into it. I like that. Now I'm gonna repeat it. I'm just gonna make a cut. I like to try and use as much of the sample as I can. And this part could be a cool end phrase. Let me just hear it, like time it right here. Control Enter, Control Alt C, normalize. I'm gonna just double speed this, drop this down 50%. That's kind of weird sounding, but I'm gonna let it run. Don't overthink it. Nice. As the whole loop. Nice, dude. That's gonna hit. That's gonna hit. I went ahead and listened to the entire song. I found some cool parts that I think embellished the song. Everything I added for embellishment can be heard on the last 8 bars. Another one is the string plucking back and forth. And then this next part, tabla fill of some kind, but I'm repeating these 2 parts here, and this is the finishing phrase. And lastly is this arpeggiating down on the sitar and then back up. Play it all together, this part. Now, once you have the sample, you obviously can hear that I've done some amount of processing to it. Let me go over that really quick. I'm using a sound shifter to pitch it up 5 semitones, an EQ to notch out a harsh frequency I heard, and some low-end cut. I have this halftime in there in case I want a section that is an octave down, OTT to give it that squeeze, and LFO tool to create that pumping effect. I'm not using some of these effects right now, but I anticipate that I will. So far, this bounce is sounding freaking good to me. This sounds really sick. It needs an 808. I have one pulled up. All the drum sounds that I have right now are all from those stash kits that I mentioned in my last video. And did I mention that they were all free? This is a free kit. I think it's a good time to start mixing some of these elements. Let's look at this 808. We gotta get the blend really dialed in. Now I have a sidechain track where I've copied the pattern for the kick into this sidechain kick track. Now this sidechain kick is a really short sound. It sounds kind of like this. That little click sound is a good trigger for the sidechain, and I can control the length of it with these knobs here, the tension and the decay, to turn down this volume knob on the 808 track. This is where the volume is turning down. You can see it moving. And this is the shape of that volume moving down. Make it more obvious. Really lock the top end. Too crazy right now. We kind of make this subtle amount of room between all these elements. And then I have this distortion plugin, and I'm using the Torn Subs preset. That sounds insane, like too much still, so I'm gonna turn that down to like 1%. That's much better. I just want a subtle amount of bite to that sound. So when I play it with the rest of the stuff, turn off the 808 processing. To me, that makes everything sound a little bit more tight and punchy sounding. Sometimes you want that rim to be right in your face. Sometimes you kind of want it sitting in the back. You don't want to lose too much of that detail from it. So I like to usually drop that 3K, cut out the low end, and then before all of this, put a distortion of some kind. Let's just go with Fruity Fast distortion real quick. Without it, it's very short, no weight to it. Now on the master, this is where we get a little bit wild. I've been playing around with a few mastering change over the last few weeks. This will change as I kind of fine tune a new sound for myself. And some of these plugins definitely have a large amount of, they're very broad strokes. I've got this compressor here and I'm just shaving off like 1 or 2 dB usually. And these are almost always my settings. Really capturing just the low end. If I wanted to like take out a little bit more out of the detector path, turn the sidechain off. Making that kick and snare a little bit tighter sounding. Now OGT, I'm trying this on the master, I won't lie. This is a little unsure about it, but I'm trying to stick between like 10, 15, 20% max. Too much of it sounds like that. That sounds good. FabFilter Saturn. That sounds nice too. It's just adding more energy to it. And then I've got, this is another one that's pretty heavy sounding, but it gives it a sound I don't know how to recreate anywhere else. I think it's something to do with the pentode tube or the triode tube that they're emulating in this. And this last one, man, I have been waiting to reinstall this plugin for ages. I don't even know why people don't talk enough about this. This is a collaboration with Native Instruments and Softtube. I'm just subtly taking out, it's a very, very gentle slope, but cutting out 39 hertz at the low end and then boosting 33. So right around the same range, we're kind of tightening it up a little bit. I think we can make it a little more punchier. Right there. And I usually on the master, I don't know what it is, but I always love cutting around 3K because I feel like it creates room for the artist in a sonic spectrum space. Like it's more pocket for them. Obviously we can add a little L2 to like bring it up to 0. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. Shout out to Tracklib for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description and try it for yourself. Hopefully in the next video, I'm going to be doing some sort of studio tour. Got some studio panels I want to talk to you guys about. I got some new synths, I got some new pedals, all that good stuff. So hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.